Let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the deep anatomy of human accountability, pulling straight from the Tafsir of Surah Al-Qiyamah. We're going to trace this really fascinating journey, starting from those quiet little whispers of our own conscience, all the way out to the massive cosmic scales of ultimate justice. So, do you ever hear that inner voice questioning your intentions right after you do something? You know the exact feeling. You make an awkward comment at a gathering, or you rush into a decision, and bam, almost instantly, this voice in your head is like, why did I just do that? Or, man, could I have handled that better? It's that relentless inner critic that absolutely loves to keep you wide awake at 2 a.m., replaying all your mistakes. Well, this universal internal dialogue is the foundational focus of our explainer today. And as we'll see, the source material gives us a profoundly spiritual framework to understand exactly what this voice is and honestly, why it's so vital. The source text actually gives this inner voice a specific, incredibly powerful name, an-nafs al-lawwama. This translates to the self-reproaching soul. Now, according to the scholars cited in the text, like Mujahid and Sa'id bin Jubair, this isn't just about feeling guilty when you mess up. It's way deeper than that. This soul constantly holds itself accountable in both good and bad situations. Even when doing something good, it actually feels a sense of sorrow for missed opportunities, asking, hey, could I have done more? It is this state of perpetual hyper-awareness. And the great scholar Al-Hasan al-Basri points out a really stark defining contrast here. On one side, we have the believer. Their defining characteristic, it's exactly the self-reproach. They pause, they reflect, they literally interrogate their own motives. But on the flip side, the text describes the sinner as someone who simply proceeds ahead in total heedlessness. They just follow their whims without a second thought, completely ignoring that internal critic. So the presence or absence of this active self-interrogation, that's the ultimate dividing line.
So how does this actually work in practice? The text lays out these highly practical, introspective questions a believer uses to break down their daily actions. This isn't just some abstract philosophy, it's a relentless daily grind. Step 1, what did I intend by my statement? Step 2, what did I intend by my eating? I mean, think about that. Even basic survival actions are heavily scrutinized for their true intent. And step 3, what did I intend in what I said to myself? This soul interrogates not just spoken words, but internal dialogue. It's exhausting for sure, but a totally necessary pursuit of absolute purity and intention.
Moving on to section 1, the ultimate reckoning, from internal to external accountability. The core idea here is that accountability is absolutely inescapable. To counter skeptics who doubt that scattered bones could ever be reassembled, the divine response offers this profound visual proof. Yes, we are able to put together in perfect order the tips of his fingers. I want you to really think about that for a second. Every single human in history has a completely unique biometric fingerprint. The text emphasizes that the Creator's power is so absolute that even the most microscopic, individually unique features of a human being will be perfectly, flawlessly reconstructed. No detail is lost. Yet despite this undeniable reality, human nature, well, it loves to play games of denial. We try to outrun accountability. The text explains that man desires to break out ahead of himself. Basically, this phrase means to proceed forward blindly, just chasing desires while totally ignoring the consequences. And in this state of denial, people dismissively ask, so when will be this day of resurrection? But it's a question born not out of genuine curiosity, but of a desperate attempt to reject its very existence so they can just live without any limits. But when that dismissive question is finally answered, the source text responds with some truly terrifying cosmic imagery. It uses the term barika, meaning the sight will be completely dazzled, diminished, and frankly horrified by what it witnesses. The moon's light will be entirely eclipsed, and impossibly, the sun and moon will actually be joined or rolled up together. In this moment of overwhelming cosmic terror, the text notes the natural human reaction is to desperately look for a place to flee. But the absolute truth is established right then and there. There is zero refuge, nowhere to run. All right, section 2, witness against oneself, the illusion of excuses. At this point, the veil is completely lifted. Every single thing you've sent forward and left behind will be laid out right before you. There's no chronological hiding place here. The old and the recent are all there. There's no hiding in the minutia either. The small and the large, the whole shebang, it's all there. It's a complete, unhidden transparency of an entire lifetime of actions. And this absolute transparency reveals the total futility of our own denial. The text highlights a terrifying but deeply just concept. Nay, man will be well informed about himself, though he may put forth his excuses. Essentially, you will be your own star witness. Even if a person tries to argue or rationalize or throw out false excuses, they are intimately informed about their own reality. In fact, the commentary points out that on this day, your own hearing, your own sight, and your very limbs will testify against you. So that internal nafs al-lawwama, the inner critic you perhaps ignored in life, it's now validated by the undeniable reality of your own body testifying to the absolute truth. Which leads us to Section 3, the anatomy of creation, proof of resurrection. To back this up, the text maps out the miraculous, biological journey of human creation, a sequence that leaves absolutely no room for the idea that human beings are just left neglected. It starts from nutfa, a despised drop of fluid, which then transforms miraculously into alaka, a clinging clot. From there, it is meticulously shaped, fashioned in due proportion, and finally designated into two distinct sexes, male and female. It's an incredibly structured, highly deliberate process of origination unfolding right before our very eyes. And all of this brings us to the ultimate rhetorical question, the really triumphant conclusion of the source text's argument. Is it not so then that he who made this perfect creation would be able to give life to the dead? If the Creator possesses the unimaginable power to initiate this highly complex timeline of human biology from a mere drop of fluid, transforming it into a conscious, speaking human being, well, is it not entirely logical that he can surely repeat the process? If the origination is a daily, undeniable fact, then the repetition, the resurrection for ultimate judgment, must be equally true. Now for our final section, Part 4. The power of self-awareness, returning to the present. So how do we actually apply all of this today? Well, the text teaches us that your nafs al-lawwama, that annoying inner critic, is actually your absolute greatest asset. Think of it as a built-in early warning system. Because external accountability is an absolute certainty, both biologically and cosmically, doing the really hard work of judging your own intentions today means you won't be completely shocked when your deeds are laid bare tomorrow. He who is well informed of himself today will not be shocked tomorrow. I want to leave you with this final thought to reflect upon. Knowing that your very fingertips will be perfectly reassembled, and knowing that your own limbs will eventually testify to your actions, ask yourself, are you truly listening to your nafs al-lawwama today? Are you pausing to question your intentions? Or are you just rushing forward blindly? Embrace that self-reproaching soul. It is the ultimate tool for a truly conscious, accountable life.